Hello. I would like to speak today to provide some insights on how to let the air out of Trump's balloon. And I am going to be speaking from my experience of leading Buddhist Project Sunshine. And so this was a social justice activist organization that I founded and led in 2018 and successfully exposed a very influential global Buddhist cult and in less than 1 year. So the work that we did was extraordinary. And it didn't just happen. It wasn't just that the stars were aligned and supported it. There were some very real things that I did before even starting that work that prepared me for being able to see through such an important piece of justice activism. So people had tried to expose this cult for decades before that. And so there was really every promise of my own failure. But I used a technique to deflate the illusion of power that the cult leaders used. And I literally let the air out of their balloon. So this was an inside job that led to an external deflation of their power. So I would like to share with you the first step that I used to deflate that illusion of power. And I'm going to share a drawing that I did. So hopefully you can see that. And so this was a drawing that I did in my journal, and it was revolutionary for me. This is really what shifted the tide within me and opened up what became a very, very powerful justice activism movement. So I drew myself as this large woman figure with this large heart that was beaming, goodness and light and energy out. And there was the sense of stars, suns above me, and hearts, in the area, the presence. And then down here are these two small figures. First of all, the Shambhala structures. So that was a little pine tree, apparently, came out as a little tiny pine tree, because this community had some very heavy-duty hierarchies and structures, which helped to keep the cult in power. And then this was one of the cult leaders, Mitchell Levy, who came out as a very small little circle. And so this was a way of seeing that the power of my love and the power of myself as someone who, um, well, I'm even noticing the lines here, which I think really are about being able to look forward, being able to have a vision for something beyond this. That all was so much more powerful than all of their lies, all of their control, all of their harm, um, sexual harm, financial harm. Like there was so much harm happening in this cult. But the love within my heart and my humanity, I realized it was so much more powerful than any of their sources of power. So this was how I initiated on the inside of me of realizing that me being a loving human being is way more powerful. So I hope that that example is going to be helpful to you, because I just felt like I was, this one little person. And then there was this huge organization with all these incredibly powerful, arrogant, um, uh, really violent people at the head. I just felt like this little person. And so this was a wonderful way to transform how I was seeing things. So I will stop that share. So as I said, this had to start on the inside. You have to make the shift on the inside and really claim your value and your power as a loving human being on the face of this earth. And so from that picture in my journal, I did go on to form this very amazing justice activism organization. We had a campaign that was for less than 1 year where I was able to lead this organization to expose the leader as a sexual predator. So I did all kinds of interviews with major media, The Guardian, the New York Times. I was actually featured. One of my interviews was on the front page of the New York Times. I was interviewed live on NPR radio, interviewed on CBC radio, CBC TV, Global TV. Um, I was a pretty shy, introverted person, and I really stepped into my power through this process. And I just share my story to say how possible it is for you. Because I think that you know in your heart that Trump holds no power. It's all an illusion. He is very manipulative. He uses distractions to distract people, drama. He's trying to get people upset by saying and doing outrageous and harmful things and distracts them while he goes and like changes policies and does other kinds of things. So he is full of hot air. I think that you know in your heart that that is true. And the more that we let the air out of his balloon, the less ability he will have to impact your own life and the lives of other Americans. So it really does start with really working with your own heart and recognizing your own power and your sources of empowerment. And from there, it becomes more and more clear of what actions you can take that are just, just withdrawing all of that energy that is inflating Trump's this image that he's put out there. So if you find this interesting, if you'd like to learn more things like this, then I invite you to come to my powerful free training that I'm doing in August. And it is called Create Your Bubble of Peace. And so it's free. If you can't make it live, I will be sending out a video replay. And I hope that you find that very helpful for creating that space that you need in order to really sink your roots down and come into your place of empowerment. So I would love to hear what you think about what I have put out here. What most resonated for you in what I shared? Post that in the comments below. And I look forward to reading what you have to say and to responding so we can have some good discussion about this. Right. Have a great day.